Hello and welcome back. And our lesson today is about the next three chords, which are A minor, E, and E minor. But before we talk about those, how did you get on yesterday with the last three chords you played? Were you able to play them? Did it go well? If not, just remember to slow right down. And it can help to count as well when you're playing chords. So if you're going from G to C, you can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and try and get there for the next one. Try and give yourself a bit of a target. But today's chords are A minor, E, and E minor. And just a quick note that even with the first three, G, C, and D, you'll be able to play everything in section 1 and section 2 of the course. So if the first three chords are still something you're getting to terms with, then it's okay just to play along with these today, and in your practice just to keep practicing G, C, and D. That's absolutely fine. So we'll start off with A minor, which is a open 5th string. And then we put the 2nd and 3rd fingers down on the 4th and the 3rd strings. So we've got, and then we put the index finger down on the 2nd string. And then the thinnest string is open, so we don't play that at all. We just ring it. So you're going to get open string, then 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open. And we don't actually have to play the thickest or the 6th string. That's not needed in this chord of A minor. We do the same thing that we always do. We just let the chord ring like this, and then we play the notes individually. And we check that it sounds good. And if for some reason it didn't, because we were playing something else like this, then we have a look at the fretboard. We have a look and see, what are we playing? Does it look right? Are all the fingers where they should be? And if we need to make a correction, then we do. Play it again, and we just check that it sounds good. So that is the A minor chord. Now, I'm going to give you a little cheat. To get to E is very simple. We just move everything up a string. So it's going to be like this. So it's actually a really nice set of chords to change between, because we can go, and it's just moving everything down a string or back up a string. But just to make sure that we've got it right, I'm going to describe the E string to you, which is the open 6th string. Then we've got the 2nd fret on the 5th, 2nd fret on the 4th, and then we've got the 1st fret on the 3rd string. Then the 2nd and 1st are open. We don't play those. Normally, I would say we would put the 2nd and 3rd fingers there on the 5th and 4th strings, and then the index on that 1st fret, which is on the 3rd string. So that's A minor and E. And then I've got another little cheat for you, which is to go from E to E minor. All you do is you take off this index finger. So off he comes. And then if you play it, you have E minor. And it's interesting to play those two back to back, because the major chord usually sounds happy, and the minor chord usually sounds sad. I don't know if you hear that, but it's a good way to maybe just try and hear the difference between a major and a minor chord right now. So just to make sure you've got the E minor chord right, let's play it. It's got the open 6th string, then the 2nd fret on the 5th, 2nd fret on the 4th, and then each of the 3rd, 2nd, 1st are just open. We don't fret those. So I normally use the 2nd and 3rd finger to fret those two notes, and so it'll sound a bit like this. So you can try to play those three chords in a row, because A minor is the first chord we learned. Move it up a string and take off the index finger, and you've just played three chords. So So those are the next 3 chords. And that'll get you a long way, because in section 3 of the course, we're going to introduce some of these chords. You're going to find A minors, you're going to find E minors and E chords. So it's good to learn them now, but don't worry, because if you need to in section 3, when we get to these chords, you can always come back here and you can remind yourself how these chords were formed. So your exercise for today depends. If you found the G, C and D chord were going pretty well, you're able to change between them and you're able to play them without thinking about it too much, then spend 20-30 minutes today playing the 3 new chords, the A minor, the E minor and the E. However, if you're still getting to terms with the G, C and D, your practice today is to spend 20-30 minutes playing more of G, C and D, because that's what we're going to need in section 2, and that's what I want you to practice. And don't be afraid to fool around, to experiment. If there's different ways of playing it or different things that come into your head, have fun with it and try and experiment and be musical. And I'll see you in the next section.